What's up guys, Tommy here, bringing you another gameplay on Modern Warfare 3. For this particular gameplay, I'm using the UMP45 with Extreme Conditioning Pro, Quickdraw Pro, and Stalker Pro. I decided to throw this sort of class together as sort of a contrast to what I've been playing for the past couple of days in this game, which was essentially trying to get different gameplays using stuff like LMGs and snipers and riot shields, so kind of a lot more slow-paced defensive gameplay. So I thought, you know what? Time for a change of pace, for a little break. I'm just going to slap this together and see what happens, and turns out this is a very nice gun to use indeed. I mean, I'd used it once or twice before, just kind of picking up other people's guns, but I don't think I'd ever actually put together a class myself using the UMP45. And I mean, I didn't really have too much excitement to want to use it, as in putting it together myself, just because I used it quite a lot in Modern Warfare 2, and I kind of assumed it'd be almost the same, so I wanted to try out the new guns first to get a feel for them, but I mean, yeah, it is pretty much the same as the Modern Warfare 2 one from what I can see. I mean, I do feel like the other SMGs are better in this game than they were in Modern Warfare 2, so it's not so dominant in the SMG class. But it's still pretty damn effective, it's like still pretty fun to play with, so yeah, definitely recommend giving this a go. I kind of gave a little bit of thought to putting Stalker with the SMGs, because I believe the SMGs have always had that same kind of advantage in, I believe, all the COD games, where they actually have faster movement speed when you're aiming down sight, which is obviously what Stalker does. So I guess if you put it that way, all the SMGs have had sort of a Stalker built into them from the outset, and you know, adding Stalker to it doesn't really seem that worth it. But I mean, it does have some effect, so it's still pretty useful to a certain extent. But what that does mean is that you can have stuff like steady aim or dead silence to replace that if you really want to. But hey, I'm a big Stalker fan, so that's what I do. But I thought I'd hop on and do a commentary now, because I just finished my last lecture of the term, so good times. I'm now free to go home for Christmas and have as much turkey as I possibly can eat, so I'm really looking forward to that. But I mean, finishing the term is sort of sad and happy in a way. Sad because you're not going to see your friends for a month or so, the ones who kind of live in obscure places in the country that you don't really want to pay to travel to see. And good because, you know, you get to relax for a month or so, so that's always good. What else is always good is King Tango Cherry, as I've discovered. You know, I didn't bring a drink with me to class today, so I thought, for once I'm going to pay money to buy one. And I saw this in the shops, King Tango Cherry. I haven't had Tango in years. The Tango is a soft drink, it's fizzy, carbonated, whatever you call it, and it's very delicious, so definitely give that a go if you haven't done already. They're not paying me to say this, although Tango, if you're listening, feel free to give me commission. But back to the gameplay here, I kind of wanted to touch on a subject that a lot of people have been asking me in messages and stuff that kind of keeps coming up and is not relevant to the gameplay itself, but relevant to kind of gaming in general. And it is a kind of a problem that I've had kind of myself in college and, you know, the first year of university and stuff, which is how do you kind of balance this time you spend gaming with, you know, education, work, that kind of thing. And I guess for me, the reason this is a big issue to me is because last year it wasn't so much gaming that took up my life, but it was just other things in general, like distractions. Just put it all under the subheading distractions. Gaming being one of them, you know, work or relationships being other ones maybe. And when I got my results at the end of last year, I thought, well, I didn't do badly, but I felt like I could have done a lot better if I tried. And last year I was doing a different course to what I'm doing now, and I decided it wasn't really the thing for me. So I decided to change course, so I'm doing a different one now. But I mean, the kind of feeling I got at the end of the year was, you know, it was reasonably good subjects, like it was good fun and good material and stuff. But I always felt like I wasn't kind of putting my all into it, as in, you know, I could have done better at the end of it. And I guess that's the feeling a lot of people have when they, you know, they say their messages about how do you balance, you know, gaming, work, that kind of thing, because obviously if you've got these distractions, you're not really putting your all into the work. I guess the problem that really struck me a lot of the time is, how do you know when to stop working? That's the thing, you know, you're kind of independently learning from this sort of stage onwards, and, you know, no one's there to tell you how much you're supposed to do, so, you know, I'd say the number one tip I can give is any assignments, any recommended reading, and any, like, you know, not extracurricular, kind of outside class activities, you know, like problem sheets, that kind of thing. I would say do as many of them as you possibly can. Any extra work you do will help you in the long run, and you'll probably thank yourself for it at the end of the exam. And, you know, it's kind of a feeling of satisfaction, really, and motivation is the key. It's, I don't know what you call it, but it's like the opposite of a vicious cycle. So, you know, whatever the opposite word of vicious is, plus cycle, that's what it is. if you do the work, you're motivated because you've done the work, so you feel, oh right, I've done the work, I feel empowered, I can do stuff, I'm achieving stuff. So you feel more motivated to do your next piece of work, so you just, it's a continual cycle of doing work, succeeding, achieving, whatever. So it's quite a good cycle to get into. And I guess the problem with me last year was that I had a lot of stuff going on in my life, and it kind of distracted me from the work itself, so that kind of hindered my progress in the subject. So I'm just saying, like, to anyone who's kind of sends me these messages, I just want to say to you guys, I hope you guys don't have the same problem as I did. Really hope you kind of, you know, you can focus on the work and stuff. Regarding balancing the gaming time and stuff, I guess how I'd put it simply is just do everything you possibly can, all the work you've been set beforehand, and any spare time you've got, you spend it on gaming, socializing, sport, knitting, whatever it is you do, as sort of a reward. So, yeah, I mean, that's Pyrotoz' Pearls of Wisdom episode 2, so maybe I should make this into a proper series, who knows, but I know that all sounds like pretty obvious stuff to say, but I guess the key kind of underlying message is, once you've started doing it, you've got the momentum to keep on doing it, is basically what I'm saying. I found that this year. I don't know if it's the case for everyone else, but give it a go. Just kind of motivate yourself to start with, and hopefully it's a good habit to get into, and you'll keep going on and succeeding. So, wish you all the best with it, and good luck with exams if you've got them coming up. Here's the end of the gameplay. The final score of this one is 37-5. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.